Welcome back to the First Takedown Podcast. I'm Alex. So I kind of froze there for a second because sometimes if I listen to the beginning of it, I kind of scare myself when I go, welcome back, and so tried to go a little bit smoother that intro, welcome back. Hey, how's it going, guys? How are you?
Well, the opposite happened. It went less smoothly because I thought you would just broken
Start
as
over?
like we weren't doing it live. Like I thought you were talking to me. Like, hey man, I just messed that up.
We're live. This is live, unfiltered, unedited.
Yeah.
We've never edited a thing.
Never edited, not live. I mean, we are live. Me and you are currently talking to each other, but this will be posted probably tomorrow.
Yeah, but we try to keep it pretty kind of whatever we're saying. Let's
basically live. I mean, it's unedited. Yeah.
I'd say,
unedited.
But, well, hey, welcome back to First Takedown Podcast. Appreciate you guys listening. Episode 25, probably.
25.
Hey, got some good stuff going on. Hunter, how are you, man? How you doing?
I'm good, buddy. I'm good. Got some pretty cool life stuff for both of us, right? Mainly just you, but big couple days, past few days. If you want to tell the listeners.
So, my dog passed away. No, I'm just
kidding.
Dang. No, got a promotion. Big exciting stuff. Got a baby on the way. What else? What else is exciting?
I finally got a girlfriend.
Hey,
nice. Yeah.
Hey, here's her handle. Go follow it.
Nah, she's pretty cool.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Number one fan.
I'll just Alex has some big stuff going on, work stuff, life stuff. We got to hang out a little bit this weekend, which was cool. We hadn't seen you in a while.
That's what you were saying. The important stuff in my life was that I got to see you, is what you're saying. Like big stuff happening for me. Seeing you, is that what you're kind of...
The important thing in your life is that you're bringing a child onto this.
That is important. Yeah. So
you also had some good stuff happening at work. And then, as far as seeing me, cherry on top, as far as I'm concerned.
You're right. We got to talk about wrestling. We got to, talk about traders a little bit. This is going to become a traders the show podcast probably. But,
well, I mean, it's, really and truly, you kind of owe me a little bit after turning down me inviting you to the national tournament.
Yeah.
Which is going to be tough. We had kind of had these plans, maybe do like a, live from Cleveland sort of deal. I mean, we had some good stuff cooking, and you shot my dreams down.
Yeah, that is true. I had to say no, just a little bit close to baby time. So really sad about it, but I think that's probably why you shot me down to watch this match that was not really as close as everyone was hoping, was that Penn State and Ohio State on Friday night.
Yeah. That was more of happenstance. It wasn't why, but but I will say that we kind of saw it coming. I mean, we had talked about it. We kind of saw it coming, but then there was even more coming out. Like, I think Buzakis was doubtful. He ended up going and looking pretty good. I'll give you a little bit of my insight there and see kind of what you think about this. Buzakis went. Harchula didn't go. Obviously, Cannon didn't go, which we knew he wasn't going to go. And so you just started to see a little bit of Ethan Styles didn't wrestle. So you just kind of saw okay, they're not at full strength. Even if they are at full strength, it wasn't looking good anyways. But then Feldman gets upset, and it really just snowballed into a big... And Fishback took the loss the way that he did to Welsh. Really just kind of snowballed into a pretty rough night for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, it did. I got to watch with shout out Tanner Smith, Ohio boy, wrestled at Chattanooga, but he wore his Ohio State wrestling sweatshirt, and I was like, I'm sorry, buddy. I hope that they can do something, but yeah, it was a tough night. We did get to see some of those kind of marquee matchups that were really exciting and came down to the end. I mean, a lot of them not too much action till that sudden victory or right out, but we got to see that Buzakis and Little Doll again. We got to see the young guys, Davino and we got to see him and friggin' Marcus Blaze, and that close one with the Fishback. I mean, yeah, it was tough for how him letting that one go, but
Yeah, and I mean, just like takeaways from the duel. I mean, we knew that Penn State was a lot better anyways, right?
Yeah.
So, and I don't know that Oklahoma State really matched up with them well on paper regardless, especially without Cannon in the lineup. Without Cannon, there really was no path to victory for them. Now, if you look back at it and you go, oh, well, what if they could have taken 25, 33, 41, 84 in heavyweight, because those were all the matches that were close, besides 41, which they won. They won via tech fall. That's 5-5. They just ended up losing all 4 of those matches that were close, right? So that's tough. None of that really went their way. But biggest takeaway from me for the Ohio State side of things is I've, everybody feels great about where Lillidahl is. I came away from that really impressed with Buzakis more so than anything. Now, do I think he probably could have done a little more early? Yeah. But, dude, if those guys wrestle again in the Big Ten finals, or if they wrestle again in the national finals, Buzakis is on full feed, right? He's hours away from a weigh-in, hours and hours. He's almost half a day away from the weigh-in, whereas he was only about 2 hours away this time. He was the first match out. And I think that does play a huge factor. I really do. I mean, in an overtime match, I think that's a huge factor, that if Nick can come out early and score on Lillidahl, it's going to make it a very interesting match in the Big Ten finals, potentially the Big Ten finals, or potentially, the national finals, if those guys are able to make it there.
Yeah, that's a great point. And then even with the younger guys too, like Ben Davino was on the attack. I mean, not able to get a score, gives up that reversal, just like good wrestling on Blaze. But that's another
Those
one. Like
those guys are
gonna,
so tough, man. So good.
yeah. And so that's one that, I mean, could definitely go another way. Could keep going towards Blaze, but that one's still not a like Blaze has got it for sure.
I'm not convinced that, Big Ten's is going to tell a lot. You wrestle those 2 matches again, and I think they could go either way every single time they're wrestled, especially at 25 if you give Buzakis a little bit more time off the scale. And then, pretty much everything else was kind of standard from 41 all the way up to 84. And then, obviously the Fishback match, that no one really saw that coming, where Fishback got off to a kind of a huge lead. And then Rocco ended up running him down, which was an awesome moment. It was really good TV, but you just kind of feel for Ohio State. It's like, damn, they really had an opportunity to win another match, and it kind of slipped through their fingers.
Yeah, and just even the way it ended too, I think was the big like factor of just like, well, hey, well, at least, we'll finish off with Feldman, finish off with a win there. And then he goes down to, you're like, oof, that was not the night for Ohio State.
No.
Well, we're going to see a lot of those matches again, I'm sure, in the next few weeks. But the one kind of key marquee duel is on Sunday today.
Yeah.
Sunday this week.
Yep. It's all right.
Which is,
show the peeps what you show. Yeah. Yep. Show the
if
peeps
you're
what
watching, if you're watching instead of listening, you can watch on YouTube or Spotify. Spotify has video, in case you forgot. I got my Oklahoma State hat on, but then also have my Iowa wrestling. I have an Iowa wrestling shirt. I have one. Actually won it from Mike Hatcher, wrestler Iowa. Shout out Mike. So I thought, kind of fit in.
It doesn't look good on you. I mean, it really doesn't. I'm just gonna be completely honest.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. I will be honest, like there was a few years, when I feel like when Iowa kind of went down a little bit and then they started coming back up, that right before COVID times, I was like, hey, I like that they're getting back in the groove and feeling good, and they won that, national title. But it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. When I put my Oklahoma State shirt on, it just feels right.
Well, I'll tell you too. I mean, I know Iowa's down this year, or at least they haven't looked their best this year that they have in years past. But they're a team with a lot of history. They're a team with a winning mentality, and this duel means a lot to them. I mean, it does. They beat them at national duels. This duel means they're coming into Stillwater as underdogs, and this duel does mean a lot to this team, and it means a lot to Oklahoma State as well. And this is the perfect event to have, is the last duel before conference season.
It
Now,
really
I wish
is.
you could get a Penn State, Oklahoma State on the schedule. The tradition of Iowa, Oklahoma State is awesome. And they're top 5 teams, it's even better. And, there's a lot of toss-up matches, and we'll get into it, but it's such an exciting duel to have at the end of the year. And they always do it. It's like at night on a Sunday, which is really cool. It's like Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, it is. It is fun, and I remember. I remember sitting down, like being really pumped for it last year, just with Dave Taylor's first year at Oklahoma State. But I remember at the beginning of this year when we were talking about national duels and going through, and we were like, "Hey, we're probably going to get at Oklahoma State right now, at the beginning of the year, and now we're going to see it at them at the end of the year and see the big differences." And there are going to be a lot of differences in this match, just because some lineup changes. So, I mean, you want to kind of just dig in, go from bottom to top?
Yeah, we'll start at the bottom, and it's a matchup that we already saw at National Duels. Now, it was kind of a crazy. Troy Spratley looked to kind of control the match. It looked like, he was going to win a close match, and then at the very end, Dean Peterson gets a takedown. I don't really see this. I probably see it more like 60-40 split for Troy, personally. I'm not saying Dean can't win. I mean, he did beat him earlier in the year, but I just think that Troy at home probably gets this one done more than not. And so, I would take him, but this is definitely on paper. This is a.
Yeah, and I think one thing too is, Troy Spratley just lost to Ventresca in overtime and had like that potential, like almost a takedown. And so I think maybe just a little bit more of a chip on his shoulder, lost this last matchup. And so I think he'll pull out this one, but again, it'll probably be
It'll be
maybe
a close
overtime
match. It'll
last.
probably overtime. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, this is probably the matchup I think most people are all looking forward to, is for two reasons. One, to see what happens at 33, who they put out there. Are they are they going to put out Jax, or are they going to put out Ronnie? Whoever they put out, their red shirt's done. It's burned, right? This is the last meeting that they can have before, they go into the pool, basically, and their red shirt's pulled. So, with that being said, I think that it will be Jax, and it'll be against Drake, and that is just a crazy, awesome clash of styles to watch.
Yeah. I do think, and not to kind of break the way we're at, but I feel like we do have to give a little bit of the kudos to that match that happened on Sunday with Jax Forrest and Aaron Seidel. Man, that was wild. What was it? 3 takedowns to 1, Seidel?
3-1, and Forrest got a takedown, 2 backs, 7-point move, basically. Man, those guys are awesome, and I was really, really impressed with Seidel. Just kind of one little lapse, man, and he gets taken down and put to his back, and that's the match. I mean, that really was the difference in the match. He looked so good other than that, and I'm very curious to see, can he go win ACCs, and where is he going to be seated at? That is not a guy anybody wants to wrestle. I'm telling you right now. If he's the 6 seed or the 7 seed, the 10 seed and the 2, if he's the 7 seed, the 10 seed and the 2 seed are going shit.
Yeah, that.
If the 2 seed happens to be Lucas Bird, I mean, I would pick Aaron Seidel.
Big. That's big time. I mean, he's a stud. He's
awesome.
Getting after it.
And he's probably going to be something like 7, because Jax can only do so much to help his seed.
Yeah.
I mean, Jax isn't going to clear, or Aaron Seidel isn't going to clear Jax now. Jax has that win, right? So Jax can't really beat anybody above him at conferences, and Drake's already ranked below those guys. So it's probably going to go something, and I know we're getting off on a tangent, but like, it's probably going to go something like Blaze, Bird, Davino, Larkin, Jax, Seidel. Am I missing somebody in there?
No, but the big factor is going to be that Big Ten tournament, kind of where the other guys fall a little bit too.
Well, I think Bird's going to be the one, right?
Yeah.
So like, whether he wins or loses, like if he makes the finals, whether he wins or loses in the finals, he's going to be the 2 at nationals, right? like I mean, returning national champ, he's only got one
Yeah.
loss and it's to the Big Ten champ. Like, I think he would just be the 2. Yeah, there's a lot of questions. I know this is a show for 2 weeks from now. I don't know why we're doing this.
Okay, I just feel like I had to hit on that match at least. Maybe we need to do just like small episodes of every weight class or something before nationals.
Yep.
We've got Big Tens before that and all the other conferences. No, I mean last time if Ronnie's wrestling, it did go to overtime last time. I think we have a different Drake from that last time they wrestled. But if you put Jax in the mix, then it's a kind of a fun clash of styles. And I think that Jax would still pull that one out.
Yeah, I would pick Jax with 75% confidence.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's a match that Drake wrestles that gets to Jax. I don't think that Drake is more skilled than Jax, but I do think that there's a type of match that can be wrestled where Drake makes everything really, really hard on Jax and kind of drags him into deep waters in the third.
Yeah.
And wins up. It's kind of just an ugly hand fight match. Doesn't really get into a ton of exchanges early. Maybe gets into some more exchanges late where Jax is a little tired. And we saw Jax get tired against Seidel. Yep. I mean, he was tired,
Yeah.
And maybe that's some of the, he hasn't been training as much where, he hasn't been training these really long, like 7-minute matches. I know just maybe 1 minute, like I'm not saying Jax Forrest, like doesn't have good cardio. I'm just saying when you're not used to that and then you get thrown into that, it does add a little bit of a shock to the system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's so many. I mean, you still, like, if you wrestle that same match again today, like, there might be a couple that they do call about, like, another back points there, too. And so, real close. Yeah. That was a good one. But going into 141, I mean, if we don't have Nasir Bailey here, then this is probably another spot where Vega picks up some bonus.
Yeah, I'm going to go Vega via Penn. I think maybe he gets a cradle. I think Cale Peterson maybe tries to, or it's either something like that, or it's the guy, Cale Peterson wrestles a little like Tom Crook did, where he just doesn't really do much until the very end where Vega has to kind of go after it. But I'll say Penn just because I think maybe Cale Peterson tries to go after him a little bit. And I got it 12-0 after 3.
It's good to note because DraftKings right now -9.5, right? Oklahoma State
-9.5. Yep.
Going into 149, these guys wrestled the national duels. Ryder Block won, right, against Swiderski, 5-3. Again, this is one that I think we have a different Swiderski now since national duels, so I feel like this one could probably flip the other way and could be a similar score, but that I think Swiderski.
Yeah, I think it'll be a very similar match. I don't know that Ryder Block has looked his best lately, but also Swiderski has been out, so I'm a little concerned about that for him. Is he going to be out again? I mean, they hinted that maybe he would be back, so we'll see. I think it'd be cool to have, like, the last match of the season, duel-wise, be at home and be against Iowa. And Swiderski probably wants that one back, right? I'll take Swiderski with not a ton of confidence, maybe 50-50, I think. Similar to what I would take with Peterson and Spratley, but maybe give Spratley the edge.
I mean, looking at just these first ones that have gone through, like, this is one, if Iowa does want to come out on top and win, and they need to win this one for sure against, if it is Swiderski, and if it's a backup, then, like, gotta win, but potentially get some bonus. I don't know if you can, but, yeah, and then that 133, depending on who they start, that's going to be a big, I mean, these ones are kind of like, a couple toss-ups, and then if you do get that pin at 141, like you're talking about, then that's a big swings.
Yeah, and 57 similar, right? I think, like, Robidoux hasn't looked his best. If it was Robidoux at the beginning of the year, you're probably like, okay, well, he's gonna smoke whoever they put out there, whether it's Voinovich or Jordan Williams. But I'm not 100% convinced of that. I love Robidoux, but he hasn't looked his best. He hasn't been attacking as much. I'm a little concerned with his output. I'm a little concerned that maybe he's hurt. We'll see. I think he'll go, and I think he'll get a win here, but I'm a little concerned with this one for the Cowboys.
Yeah, this one seems like he's just gonna go get one takedown, kind of control the match. And Jordan Williams hard to score on,
Yeah.
but I think it's gonna probably be that close. I'm gonna get one takedown. Maybe it's earlier, just like one in the second, and then kind of hanging on there.
Yeah.
This is an interesting one at 65. This is, Darian Lockett. This is where he got his number 2 ranking at the beginning of the year because he beat Caliendo last time they wrestled. Got that takedown, got the back points there, and I think this is probably one that Caliendo wants to get back. And Caliendo off that loss to Joey Blaze. So it's an interesting one. What do you think?
So I think that trend-wise, you would just be like, okay, well, Lockett won 4 months ago. He's a freshman. Typically, freshmen, like, they don't go the opposite direction late in the year. They go up. So I think just like from that, you would say Lockett. But Lockett wrestles these close matches, man. This is going to be a close match. Caliendo's really skilled. I think it's another toss-up. I think this match could go either way anytime. The thing that really concerned me was it didn't really seem like Caliendo against these better guys can score. Like, he didn't really seem like he could score against Blaze or Messenbrink or Lockett in all of their matches. And, at least like when he's wrestling better guys in the past, even when he's gotten taken, like I remember the Hunter Garvin match of last year comes back to my mind where he was down like 7-0 early and then just clawed back and started scoring a ton of points. I just don't know if that's the meta for him against these guys anymore. He hasn't really seemed this year like he's the guy that's going out and scoring a bunch of points against the highest level guys. Yeah. So that's what concerns me for Caliendo. But Lockett's not doing anything anyways. So it's kind of like he's picked it up a little bit recently, but I don't know. I think maybe the home crowd plays a factor. I mean, I'll pick Lockett, and I know this is a little crazy. I'm getting a little crazy with all the Oklahoma State picks, but it's kind of a lean for me. It's kind of a lean.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. When we talk about Caliendo, I remember us talking about it last year. The big gap from everybody else in 165 that he had, and then like the Messenbrink above that, doesn't have that gap as much anymore against those like other high level guys. So this would be a good one. I mean, a really good one for kind of like see how these guys are ramping up towards the end of the year. But we'll see on Sunday.
Yeah, we will. I mean, we'll get into another. I mean, this one, the 74 is similar. We saw this one.
Yeah.
Another close match, but I feel like Kennedy's always had Facundo's number, even going back to like their Who's Number 1 days. I don't see any reason for that to change. I think Kennedy gets this one. Maybe there's some momentum going into the Facundo match and he gets it. But I think Kennedy stylistically is better suited for this matchup.
Yeah, I think so. That was a sick, like, kind of defensive duck that Facundo did to win that match the other night.
That was crazy.
But yeah, I just don't think Kennedy is going to kind of make those kind of mistakes. I like Facundo, but like you said, I think he kind of just got his number.
Yeah, and then possibly another. I mean, if it's probably going to be Gabe Arnold, which we've seen Gabe Arnold, Zach Ryder a million times in freestyle. They've wrestled a bunch. It's always kind of been Ryder having his number a little bit more. Mm-hmm. I've been impressed by Gabe lately. And I know he's taken a loss to Max and he took a loss to Fishback, but he was in both of those matches. And I know he's in every match, right? I get it. But I've just been impressed with Gabe wrestling up a weight. He takes out Brock Mantanona. He took out Silas Allred. I mean, he looks pretty solid. I think he gets this match, especially if it's Ryder, or not especially if it's Ryder, especially if it's not Ryder. If Ryder's in there, I think it's just going to be an overtime match.
Yep. That'll be the same one that we've seen. Yeah, that last time Ferrari won 4-2 against Ryder. So probably could be a completely different match. Could see one of those, like, that was another one that said Zach Ryder, like, they haven't ruled him out, but he, like, think he's like,
he's kind of questionable, right? Yeah. Like, same as Swiderski.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, interesting ride that kind of Gabe Arnold has at this role of beating some of the top guys, but still in this
He's
technically
right there,
backup
man.
position. Yeah,
If Ferrari wasn't wrestling this year, I mean, Gabe would be right there to place.
yeah, yeah. Well, another big switch from that the match last time. This was, I mean, you've got Dean not there at Iowa anymore, and that was a big one of his first bigger wins. When he beat Cody Merrill 4-3, and now we'll see Cody Merrill. What was the 97 that wrestled the other day for Iowa?
That was Harvey Ludington. He's not going to be wrestling.
Okay.
He used all his dates, and they're not going to wrestle him this year. So it'll be Brody Sampson likely.
Okay, gotcha. And I mean, you think that Merrill would put up points, but I don't know. I mean, I think he might get a major. I don't know if he'd get more than that. It just didn't seem to put up too many points there, but he might get Penn.
Merrill's not in the point of his career right now where he's a big point scorer. I do think he wins this match, and it probably is the highest confidence of anybody that I have.
Yeah.
In going into the duel of winning, maybe him or Sergio Vega, but I think Cody gets it done. I don't think he maybe scores a whole lot, but maybe he's, this is one of those ones like, hey, Cody, let's go open it up a little bit.
Yeah. We'll see. I hope he does, because I think he needs to.
Same.
Now the big boys, last one, Doucette versus Keeter. So they wrestled back in February of 2024, and Ben Keeter won 5-1.
Keeter won that one. Yeah, and I mean, they've been on completely different trajectories since then. I know Keeter placed, but Keeter has not looked great this year. Doucette has looked a lot better this year. I think trend-wise, everyone would just kind of say that Doucette's trending the right way and Keeter's not. I'm not 100% convinced of that. I think that Ben has a really, really great shot here. I think it's going to be a close match. I'm going to pick Keeter with not really any confidence. I just think he gets one of these, I know he hasn't really been getting these matches, but I think he gets one, and I think it's against Doucette. So,
yeah, I feel like I've gone back and forth as we're going through this one. I still think just the way that stuff is trending, and Doucette, being a senior last time from the home crowd, I feel like he's going to get it done. But that'll be an interesting one, and that's another one. If Iowa was to try to come in, pull off an upset, that's one that they're gonna need to kind of have there. I know last week as we were going through Penn State and Ohio State, I kind of was switching up of what I was thinking. Oh, okay, yeah, no, Penn State's kind of gonna pull away with this one. Now I know before we talked, you were saying probably still might go that Iowa -9.5. Now going through it, how do you kind of think you picked a few more Oklahoma State guys there, but what do you think in DraftKings?
It's not one. Line wise, it's not one. I feel again. I try to stay away from a lot of the duels that have toss up matches. If I'm gambling on something, I don't want to gamble on something or give advice on something where I feel like there's a lot of matches that can go one way or the other. You and I kind of texted late when we got some news on Ohio State that maybe they were going to have some starters out. And so we kind of went that direction towards Penn State late in the day. You got to keep an eye on stuff like that. If you get some news that something comes through, you could get news that a guy, Swiderski and Ryder aren't going to go.
Yeah.
And that's big news. I mean, that really is. And when I say Ryder, I mean Zach Ryder, not Ryder Block.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, no. You could get that news, or you could get news from Iowa that, Angelo Ferrari's wrestling. You just don't know. So you got to kind of stay in tune a little bit. These books are a little slow on stuff like that because it's not like the NFL where the books are kind of on it even before the NFL announces it.
Yeah.
It's not like that here. So if you have a source, some good news sources, use them.
Send them.
Yeah, send them. Also send them. Let us know. We love the good news source. If you got any scuttlebutt, any rumors, let us know. We're open.
That's right. But so you're staying away from the bet probably just because of the toss-ups. But overall, I mean, you're still favoring kind of the switch from what happened back in November, thinking Oklahoma State pulls
now
away
that we went through it, now that we went through it, I would lean Oklahoma State, but I think it flips pretty drastically towards Oklahoma State. I think that they're going to win the first 5 weights of the night.
Yeah.
And feel not great confidence that happens, but I feel pretty good about that. And then at that point, you're going, okay, they won the first 5 weights. Like, that's a really large hill to climb for Iowa. But basically every match, 25, 33, 49, 57, 65, 74, 84, heavyweight are all somewhat toss-ups. I mean, really only 41 and 97 do I feel like, okay, this is Oklahoma State.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I mean, because of that, and because of just the history behind it, this is a fun one to end the season on.
It is. It is. Another one to watch for tomorrow night is Cornell, NC State. Currently, Cornell on DraftKings is a minus 1.5 point favorite. And on Circa in Illinois, they are a +3 underdog. So an interesting kind of difference between those two teams. When you look at like the two teams matched up together, I'm feeling Cornell. Like, I feel like they get it done. They're on the road. They're in Raleigh. That worries me a little bit, but it feels like a lot of the toss-ups, Cornell has the edge. So if you were looking to make a bet, they're +100 at -1.5. They really just got to go win the duel by 2. They got to win the duel by 2. And I think that they have a lot of, like, they're close matches, but I feel like they're the favorite. At 33, I feel like Ferrara is the favorite. At 41, I feel like Cornella is. At 49, Jackson Joy. At 57, Meyer Shapiro. 74, Simon Ruiz. I feel like they're favorites at a lot of these weights. Light favorites, but favorites.
Yeah. I like that. I got, I mean, just to give you a little real-time update, though, mine DraftKings saying Cornell +1.5. Has it already switched since you looked at it last?
Wow, it might have changed then. It might have changed because I had. Yep. Yours now says +1.5.
No, I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to do that to you. I didn't have to give you the update because I mean, it seems like you're trending in the right direction.
I think you're getting basically, now you're getting a point, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting a 1.5, but they could lose the duel and you could still walk away and win this bet. So I like Cornell. I would take them even at that number, -125, +1.5. I like that bet. So if you got something, that's the kind of the one I'm feeling. I wouldn't stamp it because the last couple that I've stamped, we've lost.
Yeah, no stamp. Just got a
on that
feeling.
One. We should have just like left it at the Arizona State Missouri one, you know.
There's the only one we've officially stamped, I think.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that's right. It was the first one. You know, you had to.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, a lot more duels on there. You know, you've got Princeton, Penn State right now. Penn State -47.5, which is so many points. That one's interesting. I mean, I think when we're talking about maybe staying away just because Penn State might put some backups in there, get some matches. I don't really know, but
yeah, man, it's hard to bet on Penn State. I mean, I bet on them last week because of the Ohio State thing, the news late, and you finally get a team like Ohio State where the number comes down quite a bit. But man, I mean, it's hard to bet. I mean, they basically make it impossible. The number is so big.
Yeah. Well, got some good like rivalry matchups too. I mean, North Dakota State, South Dakota State, Army, Navy. So some fun ones was the end of the year. Virginia, Pitt, ACC. So finishing out the year strong. This is a good duel we talked about. Iowa, Oklahoma State. Going to be some good toss-up matches, but a fun Sunday night one. And then we're getting into that conference.
And it's conference season. Yeah, I know. How exciting. It comes so fast, man. It really does. Conference season will be here, and we'll be talking about seeds. We'll be kind of breaking that down. I know we'll do a show on probably mostly Big Tens. Maybe we'll hit on a couple other conferences, but we'll do a show on Big Tens, and then obviously we'll do a massive NCAA show.
We might need to do like a pick 'em
two-part?
show. Yeah, maybe like a 2-part, or like we get like some guests like pick judges too or something. I don't know. We might have to brainstorm a little bit.
We'll think about it, and I'm sure everybody will want to come on for the NCAA show. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They
No,
don't
but
want to put in
it'll
the
be fun.
grind 3 hours a year.
You're right. They're like, yeah, sure, I'll show up. That's fine. No, this is the height of, not the height of the excitement. I shouldn't say that, but we're finishing the year strong in the dual season and then getting right into the conference tournament. It's a good time. Good time to start watching if you haven't been. If you haven't been,
sure.
why not?
It's time to get in.
But
Time to get
now
locked
it's
in.
time. Yeah, we'll take you. If you don't want to watch just now, that's
Hop
fine.
on board. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys listening today. Like, subscribe, YouTube, Spotify. I think that's it. Instagram. Hunter, you got anything else?
At First Takedown. No, that's it. Just if you're doing, like your brackets or your pools or you're getting ready for all that stuff, we're going to be a big resource for that as well. We're going to go through and pick everything for the Big Ten brackets, the NCAA brackets. We're going to go through and pick, maybe some best picks and do some stuff like that. If you're kind of doing something with like certain seeds, we're going to eye those. Obviously, we'll do our picks before we reveal that because I can't be letting everybody know, but
Yeah, because that'd be some insider information for our pool that we do, and
that's
I
the
mean,
most
I'd like
important
it.
thing to
I'd
me.
like it. Yeah, no, it is, because I'd want to get some of that information from you, but I know that won't even happen. If you guys think Hunter's going to tell me, no, he won't.
You're in it though, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you're following it enough now. Like you have a good idea of like, okay, this doesn't look right. Like, okay, this.
I feel more confident this season for sure.
Yeah.
Just staying in tune. But well, appreciate you guys for listening. Tune in next time. Peace.